Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on the MJ space. Today's news is marked by ACB with multiple executives shuffling around. I don't care where they're going. I don't care what they're doing. I care about the price. The price has been telling us that ACB is the weakest Canadian MJ name for weeks at this point. We're now finding out why. Close at the low of the day. $2 psychological support is likely to break tomorrow. We'll see if that low of the day ensures a potential gap down open. Just about to get oversold on the daily, keeping in mind that we just saw daily RSI drop to 20 and we're not even at 30 right now. So I personally am not very interested in an oversold bounce. I need to see things get more extreme for me to be interested. The 4-hour RSI dropped to 20 just like the daily last bounce, and this time around it's currently sitting at 26.27. So not beat up enough for me personally, but the bears have full control, and when we do bounce, we will be looking for hourly lower highs. Today had an hourly bear flag. Anything under 210 is an hourly lower high. And when we change the hourly trend, we'll just be looking for a daily lower high. So the bears have complete control of ACB. After $2, where is our next support from previous price history? We have to look down to 181 as the next level. CGC is making it easy for the bears still. Just like Friday, we rejected from the high of Thursday by 7 cents and then pulled back. And today we rejected by the high of Friday by 6 cents and then pulled back. So again, that makes it very easy for bears. They enter a position bearish right after that rejection. They put their stop above the high of the previous day and they ride their position. So we've now seen a lower high every day, 6 days in a row. The bulls have to hold 1945. Pretty much we just have to change the hourly trend. We did have a little bit of an hourly trend change, although actually not during regular trading. So I take that back. I would need to see a clear hourly higher low and higher high for a daily higher low to be established. We're trying to set this daily higher low compared to 1821, and the bulls have not done it yet. But even if we change that hourly trend, set the daily higher low, we will then be looking for a lower high compared to 2225. So in my opinion, as I've said recently, what I would love to see as far as clarity goes, give me a daily higher low, fail to break 2225, lose the daily uptrend, zoom out, look for weekly consolidation, and for a weekly higher low to form in the $16 to $17 range. And then we have our inverse head and shoulder setup to be watching for. That's what I would like to see happen for clarity. Otherwise, I'm remaining very patient. News from IIPR. Got in a position today. Got to share this with the chat room real quick. Thanks for your patience. So, that's what I want to see on CGC, but as of right now, the bears still have complete control. So 1945 support, 19 psychological, there's a little gap at 1880. Hourly trend change means zoom out to the daily and look for a daily lower high to form compared to 2225. APHA, unable to break the high of Friday by 1 penny and broke the low of Friday by a couple pennies. So bulls want to hold 473 ideally. And if we can hold 473 and break 504, we'll have a little bit of a shift in momentum. But again, we're looking for a daily lower high compared to 561. Weekly consolidation for APHA is very similar to the setup for CGC. Those names, again, going hand in hand with each other, whereas the other names are not the same setups. So Cron's already seen some follow through on its bounce, watching for a bearish entry, anything under 757. It did stand out with a decent little strong close comparative to its peers. If the bulls can break 708, I will be watching for a top fishing play with 757 resistance. And then if we get that lower high, we'll then be looking for a higher low compared to 656. So something along these lines, if the daily inside bar can break bullish, that's what we'll be watching for. ACB, we just went over, all bears. TLRY, all bears, daily inside bar, bear break. The lowest all-time low is 1692. We held that by 2 pennies. If we break 1692, we look down to 16 psychological. VFF, daily lower high is now set at 612. Bulls need to hold 540 and break 612 to shift momentum. Daily exponential resistances continue to reject the price. 4 bounce attempts in a row. Have to hold 540 and break 612. Weak close near the low of the day. OGI stood out as a solid green day, but anything under 271 is a lower high. That's over 10% away. So it is noteworthy that it had a solid green close, but if we don't break 271, just a daily lower high like other names. Weekly chart for OGI. No real meaningful enough bounce to see a lower high aside from 401, but the bulls are trying to hold $2. If the bulls can hold $2 and break 287, or break 315 really, that would be notable to me. But that's a lot of work for what the bulls have to do. Hexo, exact opposite with a weak close. 190 support, and then we're looking down at 185 and 156. Bears still in complete control there, and when we do bounce, anything under 230 will be a lower high. And Labs also standing out green, closing up near the high of the day. And what we're watching for is, can this base of support hold, and can we break 391? We need increasing bull volume if the bulls are going to have a chance to break 391. If we fail to break 391, we have an equilibrium to be watching. And I would be viewing it high, low, scouting 391. If we fail and lose the hourly uptrend, then we need a higher low to form from there. Hourly higher low at this point is 359. So out of just looking at these Canadian MJ names, CGC and APHA are in a pair for standing out a little bit better than others, having a clear setup on the weekly time frame. We know what's needed for a weekly trend change to start 2020, and we know that it's going to require some short-term pain to set weekly higher lows, where most of the herd, not familiar with technical analysis, are probably going to give up on the bulls. We're not going to give up. We're going to continue watching the setup and see if they can pull off that weekly higher low. Other than that, names that stand out, Kron had a decent little close comparative to peers. Still a lot of work, but watching for a daily lower high for a potential bearish entry. OGI stood out, and Lab stood out. Short-term bull move. So watching for an ACB bounce, but again, I'm being real picky, and I'm going to have to see things get pretty darn crushed for me to be interested in that bounce. So IIPR, why did I make a bullish entry? Because we broke resistance. We know the bigger picture setup. If you've been watching these videos, we're looking for a monthly higher low. We had a huge run up, hit the all-time high, pulled back over 50%, and we're looking for a monthly higher low and then a monthly lower high, and for a tightening range. And if we're going to compare it to something, let's look at Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Certainly very different. I would want to condense it down to probably the 3-month chart if we're going to be looking at something the same, but all-time high, huge pullback, lower high, equilibrium. That's what I'm watching for IIPR, less extreme, but I'm looking for that monthly higher low to form and then a monthly lower high and an equilibrium. So what's the sign that our monthly higher low has formed? A weekly trend change. What do we need for a weekly trend change? We have to hold 66.61 and break 87.20. What's the signal that our weekly higher low has formed? A daily trend change. We haven't changed the daily trend. This move is coming off the low, but I view this as a spike down, taking out stop levels, potentially seeing some loading going on, a big bull move, V-shaped recovery, breaking 3 weeks of resistance. In the end, we will need a daily higher low and higher high from here to convincingly change the trend, but certainly a big enough shift to have me interested. So I made an entry today on the consolidation. It was not an ideal entry. I entered low 75. I said to myself, if we break 74, 77 before the end of the day, I'm not swinging it. If we break, or if we hold it, I am swinging it. So we'll see if this news can help. We saw unusual call volume today. So pretty much looks like inside information. If we see a bullish reaction to this news tomorrow, which is shaping up to be likely, that will be the case. Hourly higher low, 74.77. Need to break 75.86 and then 78 after that. Personally, I would not be looking to enter on any strength tomorrow for a starter position. If I were not already in, I would be patiently waiting for a daily higher low. Keeping in mind that it is more thinly traded, the bid and the ask spread can be fairly wide. And we'll see what kind of reaction we get tomorrow. Best case scenario, bulls see a nice solid green day. If that's the case, I will exit half of my position at least, if not the whole thing, because my entry is not ideal. And I want to be nice and comfortable. So let's say we get a bullish reaction and we go to 76.50 first thing tomorrow morning. If I were to sell half my position there, my break even would then be all the way down at 73.50, which makes me way more comfortable than my current break even, which is right up there. So we'll see how it plays out. We've been scouting this play for a couple weeks at this point, and nice to see it start to potentially develop. Cureleaf, no follow through from the green day on Friday. Gap up open and tons of profit taking. The bulls have to change the 4-hour trend. We have to hold 690 and break 754 to change the 4-hour trend. If we can't do that, we have a new daily lower high is set at 754. And if we drop down and break support of 694, then we're looking down at 688 and 645. Bigger picture, it's similar to what we have to see on APHA and CGC. Have to see a weekly higher low and higher high to change the trend for any bullish momentum into 2020. C-Web is still weak. Red day today. Looks like a daily bear flag. Just 982 support. 1085 resistance. TRUL continues to tighten. Pull up the 4-hour time frame. It's a clear equilibrium. Low, high, higher low. So far, failing resistance. 1430 was our top. We got up to 1413 today. And just watching for this range to continue to tighten. And if it doesn't break tomorrow, I would expect a break. Tomorrow's a half trading day. I would expect a break on Thursday. US is trading on Thursday. Canada is not. That's noteworthy. IAN still sideways. Need to hold 164 and break 180 for a short-term shift towards the bulls. Still haven't seen the daily bull cross of the 12 and 26 period moving average since the bear cross in the $7. That could be shaping up if we can get over 180 resistance in the near term. CL, daily higher low trying to form, tons of profit taking, big volume. So our daily higher low did form at 726, but a weak close. And that potentially went into OH. OH is still strong. Daily higher low is 440. And a resistance break of 498, we'll just call it $5, would change the daily trend meaningfully for the first time in a while. And again, we're going to continue watching. The more we approach this deal closing, we're going to continue to watch the discount continue to drop. So I would not be surprised to see more OH green days and more CL red days while that continues to see a balancing act. GTII is still all bears. Only nearby support, 1023 and 991. Bottom line is, most of the sector is still weak. Bulls aren't proving anything to us. Bears are waiting for daily lower highs on names like Cron and potentially even APHA and CGC. Once we do shift momentum to top fish the recent high and hope that that leads to weekly consolidation, we'll see what IIPR gives us. Again, no chasing IIPR at this point. And other than that, again, things are going to dull down a bit in my opinion unless we get some kind of surprise news. I expect a slow start to 2020, but like I said, we are not going to give up on the bulls. We're going to watch for the potential of weekly higher lows in the first month of trading of 2020. I appreciate you watching. Hope you have happy holidays, good fun times, everything's great. Do good things. We'll see you soon. I put out a video, Traders New Year's Resolution. If you haven't seen it, check out our YouTube.
So